The Louie Bellina Show, Friday. Louie Bellina Show, presented by CC Electric, where they have free estimates. They have military and veteran discounts. They are CC Electric. Fridays, the entire, lunch hour, and noon to 1, Monday through Friday. That's lunch hour. I mean, lunch, noon. Everybody gets that, right? Lunch time on the Louie Bellina Show is thanks to Rudy's Barbecue, home of the green chili stew. Joined in the Charles Schwab studio, Brice Jones. Barbecue Pitmaster, Brice Jones, friend of mine, long time. What's up, brother?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Not much. Hey, what are you doing in your world with spring break? I mean, you work too hard. You got kids. Like, what does spring break mean in your universe?
Spring break just means busy. Like, we're not doing anything. Well, I mean, you try to not make it a boring week for your kids, but they get so many days off from school now. It doesn't matter. They had a winter break. They get things, fall break, spring break. They get so many more days off now. It's like spring break's just another week off. And it's like, look, the weather kind of sucks around spring break. Like, it's too cold to go to the beach for a day or two, or go to a water park. It's just, and then, the only thing you really do is if you want to go ski or something and go to, Colorado or whatever. So just try to find fun little things to do, here and there, but nothing crazy. But it does make it interesting, trying to work, trying to take kids places, and wanting to hang out with friends and do this and that. And so it just makes the week busier than it normally would be.
So instead of spring break fun or relax, it sounds
stressful.
Work. Sounds like work.
It is work. I mean, look, being married and having kids is always work. Like, anybody will tell you that. Like, it's something you have to work at and put effort into. At least on my part, I'm big on family. I'm big on being there for all my kids' stuff. It's non-negotiable for me as far as attending sporting events or things that they do, and so that's just kind of my thing. So it does make life stressful, but in the end, it's worth it.
But it's the stress you want.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's good stress. Like, you're always, it's good stress. It's not like work stress where you're like, oh my God, got to get this done and got to get this done. And, that type of deal. It's not work stress. It's just something added on top, but in the end, it's all positive.
Fair enough. Stress like Aggie basketball making the NCAA tournament stress?
No, not stressed about that. I think Aggie basketball wasn't stressed about that the way they played last night. So, also they were coming off a triple overtime game, and OU's red hot. OU didn't miss in the first half. I mean, every three that went up, they sank it. But A&M basketball played very poorly. They played bad. They looked. I was texting somebody. I was like, they looked disinterested. And that's probably not fair. I'm sure they were, but it just felt that way. I did not watch the second half. You knew it was over. I was telling my son, I was like, I'll text you if it gets within 10. I'll follow it on Twitter. If it gets within 10, we'll cut it back on. But I don't think that's happening. So it was. You were kind of looking forward to it, but then you were like, okay, but if you lose, you get all this rest. And I never want to lose. You never want them to lose. But I think they're securely in the tournament. If they're talking about OU getting in at 7-11, conference record, we all know what happens in the SEC tournament doesn't matter. To them talking about OU being on the bubble and getting in, then A&M's in.
When A&M beat LSU, I saw all these tweets of statistical history, like since the history of Ken Palm, no team in the number one rated power conference that's plus 4 games in conference play has ever been left out of the NCAA tournament. Yeah. A&M is in the number one conference. I mean, A&M and Lenardi, so the updated after all the play was done yesterday, they're not on the bubble. Yeah. They're still a 9. Yeah. They didn't even move a line. Yeah. Okay? I mean.
Yeah. And depending on how the rest of the conference tournament shake out and who wins, it is, will they push to a 10? Or I'd rather be the 10 seed. I hate 8-9 games. I hate the 8-9 games. I hate them so much. Always have. Like, they're they're the worst ones to pick when you're filling out your bracket. Always. Like, it's just like flip a coin. I've kind of gotten to that. There was one time I picked the 9 every year just because I got tired of I was like, I'm just going to pick the 9 on in every bracket. Just why not?
It's a 1-point game.
It's kind of like when you're playing blackjack. Like, I just don't. I don't ever. I'd never hit 16. Always, it's just you either do it or don't, because it's like 50. Some people hit it every time, or they go back and forth. Like, if you don't want to be disappointed, just don't hit it every time. You still have a chance to win if you don't hit. If you hit it, you might not have a chance to win. So I never hit 16 ever. And yeah, I'm like that with 8-9 seeds. I pick the 9 every single time.
Watching that game last night, yeah, I know the triple overtime, but they had extra days rest because they didn't have a midweek game. They played Saturday, no midweek game. So, extra days rest.
Yeah, because they had the bye.
I just saw two teams at different intensity levels.
Yeah,
I think mentally, They knew they made it into the tournament after beating LSU, and they were not able to turn it back on.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Oklahoma was playing for its life.
Yeah, they are. Oklahoma has everything to lose. They played like it. They played really well. No two ways about it. They played really well. A&M played really poorly. And again, I was of the opinion is like, okay, there was the stinker. We got it out of the way before the NCAA tournament. You got to look at the bright side sometimes. You got to be positive, right? As one of my buddies says, positive Brice.
If A&M, no, you don't. You don't have one friend that says that.
Yes, I do.
Unless it's with beer in hand.
I bet he's listening. He'll text too.
Unless it's with beer in hand, no.
Yeah, positive Brice.
Okay. Tongue in cheek, sarcasm flying high, beers flowing too on that one. And I think maybe the way they could have overcame that mentally is if they would have hit some shots early. Like it gets you in the game. It helps you focus when you're having success. So maybe if they would have hit some shots early, they would have been in the flow of the game and it would have got them back mentally. But you're missing shots. OU's not. You're not quite there present. And the knockout punch was like all of 10 minutes
They weren't getting any offensive rebounds. I mean, they were getting no second chances. OU was.
Well, they're a step short on a team that can't be half a step short.
Yeah, absolutely. So, again, not concerned about the NCAA tournament. Got it, like I said, got the bad one out of the way, hopefully, before the NCAA tournament. And hopefully they'll be ready for whoever they face in the first round. I'm ready to see who it's going to be.
Yeah. And it's so funny. I thought the actual benefit to last night was they'd get a 10 seed. I thought that was the benefit. The benefit,
yeah.
And they didn't slip according to Lenore. They didn't move.
Yeah, which, I mean, obviously he's not perfect. He's pretty dang good at he nails it pretty good, but he's never perfect. And so, yeah, I mean, I would prefer to be on the 10 line, but whatever. I mean, you're in the tournament. You're going to have to beat 2s and 1s and 3s, and you're going to have to beat these guys anyway. So let's just get it started. Let's go.
Look. I'm going to go to something I think I said the entire regular season, but I think it's time to reiterate. This is house money. Yeah. What they've already done is one of the greatest coaching jobs in the history of A&M, maybe the greatest season one coaching job ever. And we have to argue between Sumlin year one and Schloss year one, and Bucky year one is the argument of greatest year one coaching job in the history of Aggie athletics. So to try and have any disappointment, to try and go, no, stop.
Yeah. Sumlin year one had Johnny Manziel. Okay, I'll take that one out right away. Schloss had he wasn't.
Oh, he had talent.
Yeah,
he took over an underachieving team.
Yes, he did. And I mean, Bucky had one dude here when he showed up,
and he was a walk-on.
That guy played. He finally played last night. I saw the number out there. I was like, me and my son both were. Who is that? What? I've never seen that number before. I was like, we got to get a close up, see who it was. And then they said McDermott. I was like, oh. Bucky's making a point here with somebody. Yeah, he's making a point.
He's telling his team, fine.
Yeah, hey, you don't want to play hard? I'll find somebody that does. And so when I saw it, I was like, okay, I get it. I like it. But yeah, I mean, I don't think there's much argument because we weren't even talking NIT preseason. None of us had any. We talked about it here off air where I was like, before the season, I was like, oh man, look, I'm interested to see what Bucky does, but I got no expectations. Don't expect him to do much. And now they're in the NCAA tournament and dancing.
The dream was kind of to see how much he could build in year one to set up a possible year two.
Yeah.
Really was the truth of it. So I'm having a hard time getting disappointed in anything. I feel like the team did last night. We're in the tournament. I don't care.
Yeah. I was disappointed in the effort that you saw, kind of, but even then, it's like, you just had a triple overtime. You all this pressure you had to get into the tournament is kind of off your back now, and you can breathe a little bit. And sometimes that leads to the intensity not being there. And it just. You can't really. I mean, you can be disappointed if they lose in the first round, but they were never supposed to be there. You want them. It'd be fun. It'd be a fun ride. It's going to be a great story if they do make a run. Especially with what he had coming in here and losing his best player, his only NBA player, and not playing at all. Really,
they're going to be the higher seed in any matchup because they'll be 9 or 10. It looks like.
Yeah.
Therefore, technically, they're not going to be favored. So. Even if they lose in their first matchup, they're not the favored team.
Yeah.
So how am I going to be disappointed? I mean, trying to be as realistic as I can here.
We're always disappointed after a loss, no matter what. I mean, baseball, football, but whatever. Tennis last night. I didn't even watch that, but it's like, you lost. A little disappointment, but regardless of what the expectations are or not, like a loss would be disappointing. But it's not something you're going to just go on a rant on Twitter about or something like that. Like if it was year 4 of Jimbo Fisher type deal.
On a bigger meta picture, I do remember, and I have heard nobody ask this question in a long time. would Bucky Ball work in the SEC?
So
That was
far,
a question being asked.
Yeah.
I think that's been answered.
Well, it was because of where he'd been before,
Oh, yeah.
high school basketball
Yeah.
and then Sanford. I think it was more of a question like, look, Missouri used to run that kind of style. Arkansas did for a while, didn't they? I mean, everybody knew it could work. Everybody was wondering, could Bucky make it work because of his resume when he was hired?
Well, I think we got the answer.
Yeah, I think we have the answer.
Year one roster, completely assembled on the fly, and he already did this. So check.
Yeah.
Not a question.
Not a question at all.
If you want a proof of concept, what a proof of concept.
Yeah, that's how you come flying out of the gate right there.
No player over 6'7".
Yeah, I think Aggie's listed at. I mean, I think he's listed at 6'7", but he's they call him 6'5" or 6'6" on the broadcast. So, yeah, I mean they do. I mean, but you mean they do have players over 6'6", but it's like contributors. No.
Yeah. You follow me.
Yeah, I see. I get what you're throwing down there.
979-693-1150. Anybody can text questions, comments, opinions, me or for Brice. 979-693-1150. 979-693-1150. You can light up the Texas Mobile and Lube Express inbox. Texas Mobile and Lube Express, owned by Gabriel Garcia. Aggie Baseball. Norman, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Hakopian's back. Looks like Wesley Jordan's going to play. And that's one of the biggest things for me because in the SEC, you don't get to, we lost one we shouldn't. Let's make up a game. We'll get one later. That doesn't kind of happen in SEC play because every weekend's so brutal. You don't catch up later. So if they played this series without their full lineup, it's not like, later on. To think they're going to be at full strength has me quite excited.
Yeah, I mean, it's, outside of, the tournament there, they haven't been really tested by a tough squad, outside of UCLA. Virginia Tech and Arizona State are good squads, but the OU's a top 10 team. You look at them on paper, and both teams are really, really similar. If you look at the stats and all that across, both teams are. So I'm interested to see, what transpires. You go on the road in the SEC, you hope you steal one, right? And so if you win more than one on the road at OU, then you'll be happy. But it'll be nice to have Hakopian back for sure. I know Jordan was listed as probable. I wonder, what Early's thinking as far as, look, Blake Benderup's been kind of on a tear here lately. He's come in, he's filled in nicely. He's been DHing. Do you roll with him? And then, Jordan gets in and, maybe start one of them today, one of them tomorrow. I don't know. Like, do you give Blake a chance to stay hot and see if it's, if it's just been the midweek pitching and who they've played, or, can he hit the SEC pitching that way? Because he's got plenty of pop. We know that. But Jordan was hitting the ball really well before he got hurt. So it'll be interesting to see the lineup they roll with today. Who's going to lead off? Is it Grahovic? Is it TK? I think Grahovic. I think, thinking about it's going to be interesting to see when that lineup comes out.
Who are you leading off?
I'm leading off Grahovic. Yeah. You get more at bats out of the guy who can do more damage, right? TK, love what he does, brings to the table. He doesn't have the pop and, the dynamic, power that Grahovic has. Grahovic, they both see that. I mean, TK does a great job of, when he needs to put the ball in play, he puts it in play, right? It's going to be on the ground on the infield most likely, but, he gets the job done. But, I know people love that typical leadoff hitter that has all the speed, gets on, but it's not the same anymore. You're looking to get your best hitters the most at bats, and Grahovic, the full year he led off as a freshman, right? And, obviously one, was great that year. So I think you go back to Grahovic in the top spot.
Fair enough.
Or Hakopian. I'd be fine there too.
I understand both lineups.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I won't be mad either way. Like I get it. I get it both ways. But for me, I'm going back to Grahovic in the top spot.
I would pull up the data. What's the difference between 1 and 2 and the number of at-bats in a season? Yeah. And if there's an actual difference, then you have a decision. If not, it's Keel 1. Grahovic too. If there's not an actual difference.
Yeah, I think there is, but it just, you'd have to, they
just pull up the advanced analytics.
Pull up they have all the analytics, I promise.
Over the course of a year, if it costs you 40 at-bats, it's not a question. Yeah. If it costs you 3, come on.
Yeah, I know, but that's, I would bet it's closer to, 20, 30, 40, something like that.
Yeah, there you go.
Then it's worth it. But we'll see. We'll see when they throw the lineup. That's the interesting part about, obviously SEC play starting, but what's the lineup look, now that, Hakopian, I mean, Farr has been good. Hakopian's definitely going back. I think the interesting thing is what they do at DH because Benderup's been so hot.
He's been on fire. 4 home runs over last weekend.
I'm completely biased. Blake and my son grew up together, played baseball together, played high school ball together. Like Blake, love his family. So I'm a little biased there. I'd like to see him, continue to get his shot and continue to ride the hot streak that he's on. But we'll see.
That's the thing. The hot streak is now. It's not like these numbers were 2 weeks ago or over the month. No. These numbers are from the now.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. I would guess, regardless of what they do, both those guys will get some ABs this weekend.
You got to figure you don't put someone that's on fire.
Yeah. Well, and Blake has been the first guy off the bench in a DH spot pretty much all year when he wasn't playing, right? And so
that's not the same though.
It's not.
Every inning.
It's not the same. It's tough, but obviously he's been the first guy, up for a reason. And so we'll see what happens.
We'll take a timeout. We'll come back. The conversation is just beginning on a Friday. Again, if you have questions, I say it for me, but Brice is here, man. Text him. Leave me alone. 979-693-1150. You can light up the Texas Mobile and Loop Express inbox. 979-693-1150. This is the Louie Bellina Show, presented by CC Electric. They do residential, commercial, and industrial services. That's CC Electric. It is Friday on the Zone. Well, it's the Louie Bellina Friday on the Zone. It's still Friday and it's still the Zone.
Make sure to get the podcast of TexAgs Live, the Louie Bellina Show, or Chip Howard Sports Talk Daily at zone1150.com and everywhere you get your podcasts.
Brice Jones, Louie Bellina, rambling. That's what we were doing during the timeout there, and we ramble on. Yes, Led Zeppelin style, but that wasn't Led Zeppelin. It is the Louie Bellina Show. Text messages are rolling in. The Friday 13th $13 tattoo is, okay. 979. Just
$13 tattoos?
Back in the day. In the day. Okay. Friday the 13th, big tattoo day.
Yeah.
Has been started with this promotion down in Dallas back in the 90s where they did a tattoo marathon, and it was such a big hit that tattoo parlors across the country now all flash tattoo sales, pre-made tattoo sales, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
So Friday the 13th and tattoos, allegedly, story I saw, shared.
What kind of tattoo are you getting for $13? That's what I'm...
Back in the 90s, maybe, even then, like, tattoos have never been cheap, man.
Yeah.
That's why $13 tattoo, I'm like, what?
Yeah, sounds sketchy.
I'd be scared. Yeah. I'd be worried if someone... Okay, back in the 90s, we got to do inflation stuff, but yeah, I don't know about that. That's all.
I'm not a tattoo guy, so couldn't tell you.
I love tattoos. I think they're art. They can be art. Some of them are ugly as hell,
but cool. But yeah, I mean, I'm never gonna get one. I'm not much for somebody poking me with a needle that has ink in it.
You don't have any tattoos?
None.
I thought you'd have like Country Boy Will Survive or something.
No, maybe one day.
Fair enough.
Maybe when I know I'm dying or something, I'll get it tattooed across my chest.
Jeez, that's not dark.
I just don't. I mean, at that point, if you're dying, like, you don't have to worry about getting an infection from a needle or something like that. And so maybe I'll get it. Country Boy Can Survive right across the chest.
There we go. Go out proud.
Or no regrets.
Another text message. Bad news. Peruna, College Station. Louie, bad news, worst game of the year. Good news, season isn't over and you can get that bad taste out of your mouth. Sigh, you could be sitting where my Mustangs currently are. Peruna is SMU.
Okay.
I mean, texted, I think, since day one of the show, and SMU is on the wrong side of the bubble. First four out. So, could be.
Could be. Yeah, it could be, but we're not. So.
No. Again, nowhere near, according to Lenardi, nowhere near the bubble. Yeah. I wanted to hit you at something, just kind of get some thoughts on this, because I talked about it more yesterday, but, yesterday, The Athletic had Mandel and Bruce Feldman both, which is weird to have both on the same day, drop their top 25 coaches, college football 2026. One, I forget the name, doesn't matter, had Elko at 10, the other at 18.
Ooh, 18 seems unfair.
You like 10?
I would say top 10 for sure. I mean, just based off 2 years of what we've seen and what he this year making the playoff. I mean, have there been 17 other coaches that make the college football playoff? You know what I'm saying? Like, from the SEC. So, yeah, 18 seems, I bet it was Feldman. Feldman has a thing with A&M, I think, since the Sumlin days. So,
like he loves A&M?
No, he dislikes A&M.
Okay.
Yeah.
Again, I don't remember which is which.
Because but 18 seems ridiculous to me.
I looked at 18, and again, I want you to share everything you have to say. For me, I said a lot yesterday, but when I looked at 18, I started looking at those in front, And like 5 of them were no.
Yeah.
Like,
I could imagine. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
This is a personal list. I could tell it was personal
that
the
sounds
ones in front of him.
That sounds like Bruce Feldman, but that's me.
Okay.
That's me. Just saying.
Isn't every list you make personal? I'm trying to be fair.
Yeah, I'm
trying to be kind.
Everybody has bias in everything. I mean, everybody when you look at something and you're putting together a list, there's some team you like more than another. There's a coach you've done interviews with that you really like, and so you think you're doing them a favor by putting them on this list. These lists don't matter. I know that's what they just don't. But 18 clearly shows. A dislike.
Like I said, I saw 5. I didn't have to think. I'm just like,
I didn't have to think when you said it. That's what I'm saying. Just based off how many coaches have made the college football playoff.
Oh, here you go. Okay.
Yeah.
Like Josh Heupel in front of Elko.
Oh, come on now. Look,
he got them to the college football playoff. Remember?
Did he?
Yeah. They got to the college football playoff, and I think they got matched with Ohio State and got destroyed in there. But
I guess
he did. So I mean, I don't want to be like, oh, what a bum. It's not that, but but no. Willie Fritz at Houston. And I love Willie Fritz. I've always loved Willie Fritz. But no.
He's at Houston for a reason.
But because he does his things this radical way.
Yeah.
Year 1 of Willie Fritz, you have to be prepared to go 2-10 because it's such a radical change. And a lot of programs are like, we're not doing that.
I don't think they did. Wasn't this his first year this year?
Second year.
It was second year. Okay. Yeah. With first year with Wick.
And they got double-digit wins this year or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a great coach. Okay. Clark Lee in front of Elko. And what they did this year.
It was great.
Again, you give credit, but...
Yeah. It's like, don't know.
Elko year 2 college football playoff.
Yeah.
At a program that's traditional 8-4.
Yeah.
He went 11 at a traditional 8-4. A first road ranked win since 1822. I mean, all these things Elko did.
Yeah,
I mean...
Wouldn't put Lee out there. I mean,
I don't want to take away from him, though.
Yeah.
Clark Lee did what he's done the past 2 years. He found a transcendent quarterback and did the impossible, is what Lee did. Elko's, I think, kind of rebuilding an entire program.
Yeah. Yeah, the way Jimbo left it. But, I mean, look, he's rebuilding. I mean, Vanderbilt's been a doormat forever. So, I mean, Lee is obviously, building it from scratch pretty much too. So, they just hit the jackpot with a quarter, which I mean, I don't know. We'll see. I don't think Pavi is all that great. I think it was a whole lot more.
Why can't people give him credit for being a great college quarterback?
Yeah, I mean,
he was. Come on.
He was. Doesn't he have another year? Or is he done?
No, he's done.
Or is he suing for another year?
With modern college football, he might have 10 more. I don't know.
Okay.
I think he's done.
That is the hardest
for
part
now.
That is the hardest part of college, like who's back this year and who's not, because like, okay, who's suing the NCAA for another year? Like it's really only been quarterbacks at this point for some reason. Like you don't see receivers doing it or running backs.
Offensive lineman wants an 8th year.
Yeah,
I don't see it.
They don't. It just doesn't happen. It's all been quarterbacks.
So Clark Lee is a no. Clark Lee deserves. Look. If I could put Elko 10, I'll put Clark Lee 11, just to be fair here.
Yeah.
But anyway, Kirk Ferentz at 14. And here's the thing with Kirk Ferentz. He's 27 season in. He is one of the top coaches. He's winning at a program that doesn't have legacy. He's doing it in what is currently right now the toughest conference in the Big Ten, top heavy. But still, again, another coach you do have to give respect to. But do you take Elko Ferentz?
Yeah, I'd take Elko. I mean, Ferenz, you look at his last 5 years haven't been as great as previous years. I mean, they're running. Iowa's playing, bet the under. They're not some dynamic football team type of deal. But
Kalani Sitake, BYU.
No, not at all.
But that's just taking the 1 year and over magnifying because BYU had a great year.
But just are we over magnifying the one? Taking Elko's 1 year.
Why not? See, that's the thing. Yeah. If you're going to over magnify the BYU 1 year,
why are you not
why
doing
is
it for
Elko not getting the 1 year, right?
Yeah.
Okay. James Franklin, Virginia Tech.
The guy who got fired this year.
That's it. What else do you have to say?
Yeah, he got fired this year because he couldn't win.
Matt Campbell, Penn State.
No. I mean,
that's a no thinking.
He's done nothing in the Big 12. He never. I mean,
he goes to a program that has nothing going for it. You can't recruit to the frozen tundra.
Yeah.
They don't have this big NIL,
and he hasn't.
And he wins though.
Yeah, we'll see what he does at Penn State, and then maybe you can put him on the list. But what he's done at Iowa State, no.
Okay, so like I just said, and I wanted to give the names now.
Yeah,
because that's 11. Elko's at 18. We went all the way to 11.
Yeah,
I got 2 where I'm kind of like, we got to give heavy respect and due to what they did.
Yeah.
But not a one of them is
Yeah, easy.
And most were a hard, fast, just no.
Easy.
So Elko
Especially
at
the guy
18 ain't right.
Especially the guy who got fired last year.
I can't put Franklin. If you get fired because your team is just mutt-festing all over the place.
Yeah.
And you were preseason. Penn State was 1 or 2, weren't
I
they?
thought they were 2. Yeah.
Okay.
I thought they were 2.
Come on.
Yeah.
I think Virginia Tech is going to go +3 from a year ago because they went like 4 or 5 wins.
Yeah.
And they might win 8. They're in a garbage conference, but no.
Yeah.
I'm just going back to quote me on this. No.
No.
So, and Elko at 10. And, you know, if you're going to be a top 10 coach, this is from yesterday, I apologize, but a top 10 coach means your team will be in the college football playoff
Pretty
3
much
out of 4 years.
Yeah, pretty much every year. Yeah.
3 out of 4?
Yeah.
And a top 10 coach means that you believe that your team will play for a college football playoff before you die.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
That's fair. Very fair.
Is that Elko?
I think, well, I mean, based off so far, he's 1 out of 2, right? And the
Well,
first,
you got to answer before you die for yourself.
And the first year, he had, it had everything to it was all on them whether they were going to make it or not the first year. And I mean, I hate to bring up bad memories, but you know that was kind of the thing there. So yeah, I mean, he's 1 for 2. So
the before you die part is your call, though. Do you feel like with Elko, you'll see it?
a national championship before he died?
Play for. I didn't even say win.
No,
I said play for. See, I'm not going all the way. You know what has to happen to win a national? You have to have a year where you're healthy. You have to have a year where the officials don't hose you.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you have to go to the playoff, and how many games do you have to win? 3 or 4?
Other teams have done it several times. I mean,
I know, but you know what? We just
I don't know.
saw Indiana.
I mean, I'd like to think. I don't know.
Okay.
There's not enough data. We got 2 years into it. Ask me after year 4, and we'll talk about it. Next year.
If this portal class is as successful as his other, thus 100% blue check verifying him and his staff's portal ability, I think he will.
Yeah, well, you got to find the quarterback. I mean, if Marcel Reed takes the next step, is a bigger part than that. I mean,
think you have a point.
This team will go as far as Marcel, takes them next year.
I think the key. What is the requirements of the modern Nick Saban?
Yeah.
The next Nick Saban.
Yeah, 'cause,
okay. I think it's quarterback. I think it's quarterback management. I think it's more than NIL because they can get enough money that you can make mistakes and they'll pay to correct your own mistakes. NIL might be number 2, obviously, right?
Yeah, because
I think it's quarterback. Whether you're going to do the development system or buy a quarterback every year, your quarterback program management is the number 1 most important thing of the modern Nick Saban.
Yeah, absolutely. If you don't have a quarterback, you don't have a chance. You can't run the football and play good defense anymore. Offenses are too good, and somebody with a really good quarterback will score enough on that good defense or great defense. And so, yeah, I mean, I've been saying it for years now. If you don't have a quarterback, NFL, college, doesn't matter, then you don't have much of a shot.
It's always been true. That's not true. When both teams agreed to line up from each other and run it straight over the center guard, it wasn't as true. But now football's so changed and evolved. But you just said something. Teams load up on defenses because you could win like 9 games a year if you're just a straight defense team. But you can't win those last 3 without the quarterback.
Yeah.
That's how this game goes.
Yep.
You can win 9 by just being an elite defense.
Can't win the national championship
without the quarterback.
Nope. Not anymore.
You can't win in the playoff. You probably can't make it. I mean, if you were in the Big Ten, you can make it without an elite quarterback. You can do ACC, you can win the whole thing without an elite quarterback.
Yeah.
Big 12, I mean.
Yeah, you can make it to the playoff without it, but you can't win it all without it.
No. And it's got to be elite because you're going against all these defenses that are being built to beat the elite quarterback. So if you don't have one, you got no chance.
Yep.
Look at Texas Tech. They had everything in the world but their quarterback, and they
couldn't get it done.
Got destroyed in the playoff.
Yeah. Yep.
So Elko 10, we good?
Yeah, I'm good with that. I would have to stock up. I would have to see the 9 names in front of him if we were going to argue it or something like that. But I think it's fair because there's limited data. You have, you've got his time at Duke where he had Duke playing better than they'd played football in a while. But you take what he's done in the 2 years here, you have to like what you've seen so far.
I know this doesn't count towards his head coach ranking, but when it mattered most, he was the best coordinator in the country. His side of the ball, their best game of the year was Texas, and then his best game of the year was Miami.
Yeah.
There was a defense that kind of struggled pretty consistently all year. What was their two best games of the year, basically?
Probably Texas and OU if you're taking away the scrubs that they dominated and had 5-6 sacks or whatever it is. But
Texas, Miami,
and they gave you a shot.
And Texas.
And what wasn't good enough, your quarterback. And that's,
stepping up, isn't it?
You can't. The defense alone won't do it.
We'll be right back. It is the Louie Bellina Show, presented by CC Electric. Residential, commercial, industrial services is what they do at CC Electric. It is the Louie Bellina Show from inside the Charles Schwab studio. In uncertain times, Charles Schwab remains invested in their clients by offering personalized guidance, and clarity. It's personalized because we got Mark Sim, and he's right here in College Station, and you can walk through the door, sit down, shake his hand, look him in the eye, and I'm pretty sure that's how you'd like to do business. And that's how he does business. Get answers to your questions. Learn more at schwab.com/College Station. This is the Louie Bellina Show, Friday on the Zone.
Sign up for the Zone newsletter and always be in the know about that day's guest lineup, where and when your favorite team plays, and more. Sign up at zone1150.com.
The Louie Bellina Show. We still got time. Text message at 979-693-1150, 979-693-1150. You can light up the Texas Mobile One Lube Express inbox. Texas Mobile One Lube Express, owned by Gabriel Garcia. 979-693-1150. It is the Louie Bellina Show from inside the Charles Schwab studio on a Friday. You see the news, Josh Hader, starting the year on the IL?
I didn't see that, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think we talked about it last week that I'd rather, it be at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, but it's official. I say official.
You mean that between that and Pena's broken little finger or whatever, then
reports out of camp, Jordan Alvarez looks real sluggish, and he starts. But I mean, Jordan's never been a great spring training player, but he looks sluggish, and I just kind of laugh. I need to find me a happy, joy Houston Astros site. I don't know if the beat, that's just the thing. Find everything you can about the Astros bad, but I need something happy.
You got battered Astro syndrome instead of you got your own
battered Astro syndrome. I hadn't thought of that.
There you go.
Do I?
Apparently, if you need some kind of happiness, I mean, the games hadn't even started yet. So, I mean, let's wait to see how it starts off. Let's see. That's what I'm saying. I mean, until basketball season's over, I pay very little attention to it.
I like to know what's going on. I like to know where it's headed, and I get excited to see the storyline progress. It just seems like every report putting out, but it almost says the looking for it is, he looks sluggish. I'm like, spring training, man.
Yeah.
What does that mean? More sluggish than normal?
He's a big
abnormally sluggish?
Yeah. They're beat writers looking for something to write about.
Fair enough.
Spring training. I mean, it can't be easy writing about spring. They're writing about practice, okay?
Practice.
It's like practice reports for, anything for football, basketball, baseball. It's like practice reports. Like, you got to have a headline. You got to have something to write about. I get it. Been there.
All right. You've been watching any of the World Baseball Classic?
I have, yeah. I mean, I've watched when the USA has played, and I've had it on other times, when other teams were playing. I thought it was pretty comical that the USA baseball manager is still backtracking, trying to act like he knew they hadn't qualified, and so. But it's been cool that it's on at a normal time that I can watch, because I don't watch it outside of times I can catch it. When it's played in another country, like I'm just not going to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning to watch anything, basically, unless it's A&M play for a national championship or something. Then I'd tune in, but I'm not going to wake up at 5 a.m. to watch an IndyCar race or F1 or a World Baseball game between Japan and whoever at 5 a.m. Just not going to happen.
That's a fair thing.
Yeah, it's just I don't think
anyone's gonna fight with you over that.
I know friends that wake up at whatever time on a Saturday to watch soccer. I'm just like,
the Premier League people.
Yeah, I'm like,
Premier League
what do you do? And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, if you enjoy it, that's fine. Like, I'm just never gonna be that guy. Like, it's just not that guy.
No. I understand that.
I'd rather sleep.
I understand. Trust me on that one.
You on the same page? Will you wake up like 5 a.m. or stay up till 2 a.m. to watch something?
Okay, I can do the 2 a.m. Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's easier than for me. I could, if it's a weekend, I'm probably up already.
I'm not waking up at 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah.
I remember there was a World Cup where Team USA is playing at 8 and 9 a.m. I could have done it during the weekdays because I kind of up at that time already. I ain't waking up. I'm not setting an alarm for that kind of thing.
Well, even it just happened recently with the U.S. hockey, right? They opened bars early in New York. They did like a 1-day decree so they could start selling beer at the bars earlier. They could open earlier so everybody could go watch. What time they play? 7, 8 o'clock in the morning I watched that. It was 8 o'clock, I think, is when it started. So I did watch that, but 8 o'clock's not anything. You get into the 4, 5s, and 6 in the morning. My alarm's not going off till about 6:30, regardless of what's going on.
No, I want to, but there's only certain sacrifices I'm willing to make.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like for certain things, maybe, but for most, no.
You're making me laugh. The Premier League is the biggest thing. I've known so many people that are Premier League fans, and they say it proudly. Yeah, I had to get up at 5 to watch Tottenham, and I had to get up at 6 to catch Chelsea.
On the weekend, like the first thing I do, when I'm the first time I open Twitter that morning, those are the first tweets. It's people complaining about their soccer team from 5 a.m. or whatever it is. Yeah. So
I like the fire and passion, though.
I mean,
being a sports fan myself,
I get it. That's what I'm saying. I get it. If I was into soccer and was a fan of one of those clubs, I'd probably do the same. Not every time, but for the most part. But yeah, like I said, if it was A&M, you'd probably catch me up at 4 o'clock in the morning watching something if I needed to.
So have you seen? I don't know how far you've been following this, but Greg Sankey this week talking about the SEC having to make its own rules because the NCAA rules are failing them, and it's been these weird threats like. Since the NCAA won't enforce rules, the NCAA doesn't make rules, the SEC might have to make their own rules.
Yeah. I haven't seen that at all. I haven't seen anything on that, to be honest. Or maybe it was. There was some report I kind of briefed over, but yeah, I mean, the SEC's trying to flex their muscle and be like, hey, fix what's wrong. Or, I mean, I don't know what they're going to do about it. They're not going to secede from the, from NCAA football and start their own thing. But, I get it that there's lots of problems. The rules, look, the NCAA has always been a joke. So I think there's enough money being thrown around and the SEC has enough power that they're trying to get some things done, I'm sure.
On Tuesday, the College Sports Commission that's supposed to be in charge of third-party installments and stuff revealed we're having trouble policing these things.
I did see. That's what I saw. That's what I saw this week.
You have that on top of, and then in the SEC, okay, let's see. Clemson accused Ole Miss of tampering, i.e. calling texting the kid in class.
Yeah.
I mean, outright blatant. Tennessee has sued the NCAA over the recruitment of Nico Amaleva. Trinidad Chambliss failed with the NCAA, so he went to state court to get a 7th, 20th year, whatever that is. So you have all these SEC schools. I'll say anything Lane Kiffin, it appears, right? The SEC is having trouble, and there's no one to actually help the league regulate itself is kind of what's going on.
I guess. I don't. You've seen that, and then the Big Ten put out a thing that they wanted to do away with tampering this week. Is that what something about that? And then did you see the Trent Richardson, the former Bama running back, dropped told Nick Saban to shut up? He goes, "I got $75,000 just to." A year, and I got $250 to come here and $75K a year. And I mean, that's what we all know. That's why. By the way, we all know that's why Saban left. Like he hated NIL. He couldn't
because it made everything even.
Yeah, it made it more even. He didn't have an advantage anymore, and he was just tired of it. And I get it. And he's still the greatest coach, college coach of all time. But yeah, he needs to get off his high horse. Every time he speaks about it, because Richardson,
revealed the truth.
Everybody knew what Bama was doing. I mean, I always laughed in schools like, I can't believe it. Every school that could and would and was really good was throwing money under the table.
The Big Ten talking about dropping tampering. Okay. It sounds absurd, right? But I read kind of the extended version of what they were talking about. And okay, what they're trying to say is we need a new definition of tampering. We have to update it because your definition of tampering takes 0.0 account for all the rule changes, the modern world we live in. So they kind of want to suspend tampering charges until you update what tampering is. But the odd thing is, we're talking about the NCAA, right?
Yeah.
That would take like 5 years and 6 committees. for them to update what tampering is, that's 4 years from now.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing with the NCAA is the how long it takes them to try to write something or figure something out. Like, I don't understand why they can't just have a conference. All these NCAA people just got a week conference and let's just rewrite it all. It can't be that hard. So I'm sure that's what most, now, especially when you're dealing with tampering, which causes violations and things like that, like, yes, things need to be updated now that NIL is here, and the way, judges are, courts and court systems and judges and this and that, and there's a whole lot going on. I try to not focus on it. Let's play some football. Let's see how it shakes out. But yeah, the off-season stuff is crazy now with people applying for 10th years and suing people. It's ridiculous.
Well, I thought and I have to think about this, that all the rules that affect, like, I'll say football, which that would, right, have to be approved by the SEC and Big Ten. I thought they had some kind of commissional rights moving forward after the House settlement.
The SEC should for sure, but...
Well, I think the two of them basically control, which is horrible because they can't agree on anything. No, right?
Not,
so the two of them have the rights and powers to control everything, but yet because they hate each other so much, they'll never agree to change anything.
Yeah, it'll just all
look at the college football playoff.
Yeah, it'll all stay the same. I mean, they're arguing. I mean, I did see a thing like all these coaches, looking for more. It's like, because they all want to, they want to be able to say they made the college football playoff. Like, there's certain coaches on certain teams that know they have no shot unless it expands to 24.
Well, okay, look, I don't blame them. All their contracts were written before this world started, basically. Every one of them has a playoff clause in it. And that's when it was 4.
Oh, yeah.
And now that it's 12, if they can get it to 24, that contract clause doesn't go away.
Yeah. No, yeah, absolutely. They're not going to, I mean...
That doesn't make them bad people.
I'm not saying it makes them bad. It's funny to watch it. Like, some of these coaches that will never have a shot to get into the college football playoff, advocating for more teams. Like, I like where it's at. I hope they... I think you like 16, right?
I think 16 is a great number.
Yeah, I like it where it's at now. But I like the arguing over which team gets left out and gets left in. It sucks when it's your team, but I do like that fact. And it'll still happen at 16. Somebody will get left out that or left in. But
look, we have 69 in the college basketball tournament, and we argue about teams left out.
I know,
and that's 60. I mean, it's 69 with the play-in. Dayton
I don't
games,
know,
right?
but the only thing I like about 16 is they'd have to start playing right away because they have to do something about the buys, the 3-week layoff or whatever it is. Like they just play. Just play. Like, you get a week to prepare and you start playing. Like, there's no need to have 3 weeks off. Like, if you get the bye, you get 1 week off. But, having 2 weeks before you get the bye is just not fair. You just can't do it in football. They can't simulate that type of without risking major injury and, hurting your chances. So that's the biggest thing. Like, if they go to 16, fine, but it makes them play right away. I think if you go to 16, like, you got to start getting – I mean, next year I think they said the national championship game's not
later.
Yeah, it's later than it was this year. They got to fix that. That's my only gripe right now with the college football playoff. And the automatic, and we should never have rematches when there's ways to make it not happen. There are easy ways to fix
100%.
that.
Look, my 30-second take on all this is we need to start the season earlier. I got no problem with mid-August, even the second week in August, and let's quit pretending, in students in, students out, they're going to show up for football. I don't care about the schools that aren't major football programs because we're talking about football.
Yeah.
We're talking about SEC, Big Ten. Everybody's going to be there.
Yep.
Okay?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Everybody's going to be there. So let's just start earlier so we can end and that's all. Let's adjust for modern realities.
Yeah.
Let's quit.
Adjust the calendar.
Because we did it 100 years ago means nothing to me.
Just like you did with the recruiting calendar and the portal calendar, just readjust the football calendar.
We'll be back. We'll wrap things up. It is the Louie Bellina Show from inside the Charles Schwab studio Friday on The Zone.
The Louie Bellina Show, presented by CC Electric. Don't ask unless you want the truth, because
you can't handle the truth.
Weekdays, 11 to 2 on The Zone.
The Louie Bellina Show, down the stretch we come. Louie Bellina Show, presented by CC Electric from inside the Charles Schwab studio on a Friday. I got a text message for you.
Okay.
Matt in College Station. Could a 2-year supply of barbecue be included in an NIL deal?
Yeah, I mean, I would think so.
Why would it not be able to?
Yeah, why not? Sure. Look, I think there's several barbecue places that are sponsors of A&M football. I'm sure contribute to NIL.
Could you imagine? Every game day you have to eat Smoking Ace's ribs.
Yeah,
I'd do that.
It'd be all right. Wouldn't be the worst thing.
I would be all in on that story.
Yeah, somebody provide the money. Somebody make an NIL donation in my name on my behalf, and I'll cook you barbecue any day you want.
Smoking Ace's ribs, best ribs I've ever had. Not a joke. Not saying it because Brice is here. Saying it because it's freaking true. Best ribs I've ever had.
Thank you.
And the barbecue chicken, as we know, is just unreal, off the chart, insane.
It's pretty good. We got to cook off in 2 weeks.
Do you?
Yeah, we do.
Which one?
The Milliken one. This year it's the Milliken. Raising money for Milliken is also a memorial cook off for our buddy Doc who passed away this last year. So it is on Easter weekend, so it'll be interesting to get that done. But we'll make it happen.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
And then, okay, so this is the traditional one. Is this one got a little twist to it?
No, it's traditional. Yeah, it's just traditional. It's not sanctioned or anything, but we go by all the same rules, and there'll be 20 plus teams or something like that. And so, we all cook an extra brisket that they hand out to the community, that we turn in for them to just hand out to make, for community members. So, and that's the biggest thing. Just running, it's a small community center out there, and this basically keeps the lights on for them throughout the year.
We need a St. Patrick's Day cook-off.
I know, it is surprising. I mean, there are. I guarantee there are
somewhere.
Yeah, they're all around. So it's just depending on how far you want to travel.
I think that'd be fun, having to do brisket hash, like instead of corned beef hash or something to St. Patrick.
I know some barbecue places that do like a corned beef brisket basically. I don't know about making a hash out of it, but it wouldn't be that difficult. Wouldn't be hard.
I've been dying to make some barbecue road trips. Just too busy right now.
Too busy.
Yeah.
I hadn't been anywhere new in a while, so I have to figure out something.
Can you get on the road? Because it's almost summer, and I'm gonna have to get some recommendations from you.
I'll figure out something. Supposed to go towards Houston tomorrow, so I'll see if I find a spot.
Fair enough. Bryce, thank you.
Yeah.
Have an amazing weekend. Go be awesome.
Later.
I am back Monday at 11, and Monday we'll talk about A&M NCAA tournament, where they ended up in the bracket. Monday, we'll talk about the opening weekend, Aggie softball, Baton Rouge, LSU. Listen on Willie 1550 AM Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And, of course, Aggie Baseball, OU. You can listen all weekend here on The Zone. I got to go. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for being a part of the Louie Bellina Show.
The flagship station for Aggie Athletics is The Zone. Whenever the Aggies are playing, you can hear them right here at 1150 and 93.7. Thanks to our Aggie broadcast sponsors who make it happen. The Sleep Station, Aggie-owned, Aggie-operated, and a proud Texas company. Zwerneman Flooring, service, selection, style, and Rebel Draft House in the Northgate District. Listen to the games on The Zone 1150 and 93.7 FM.